Motion approved, Mr. Chairman.
Aye. Okay. New business, item number 1, authorization to select Malden and Jenkins for annual external audit services. Ms. Standridge,
Good afternoon, council.
good afternoon.
This item number 1 is, we released an RFQ for our annual audit services. It's been 5 years since we've done so. We had 2 responses. One of them was Malden and Jenkins that has done our audit for the past 5 years. And so we graded all of the responses and are selecting Malden and Jenkins for that service.
Had 2 responses?
Yes, sir, 2 responses.
Excellent. I think that, go ahead.
Yeah, Carly, I was gonna say, one thing that, it's very difficult to find a firm that does governmental accounting and does it well.
And M&J
yes.
they are the leading governmental audit firm in the southeastern region. They do the most governments. They also have expanded their services within the state of Alabama, because sometimes state law will be a big, piece of that, of the kinks in the cogs as well. And so they've even expanded their Alabama practice, and City of Huntsville now uses them. Jefferson County now uses them as well. They provide excellent service to us up until now. And they even provide us excellent service ancillary-wise whenever we have issues that come up, new pronouncements that we're having to implement throughout the year. They provide us excellent advice and are extremely responsive.
Is our in a normal year, what's our audit fee?
$160, $170.
Excellent. That satisfies my concern over the rotation of it. So I think we gave 1 extra year because of a personnel shortage.
Yes, sir.
And now we put it out for an RFQ.
Yes, sir.
Gotten responses and a recommendation. Somebody want to make
So
a
moved.
motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 2, general fund budget revision number 21, Ms. Standridge.
Yes, sir. And this one is a little bit lengthy. It has 3 different parts to it, so bear with me for 1 second. The first part is recording abandoned property revenue that municipal court will do periodic searches for, and then putting that abandoned property revenue into an expenditure line item for them to be able to upgrade their intercom system within municipal court's cashier's office, which currently is inoperable.
Which is currently inoperable.
Yes, sir.
The cashier's office.
The cashier's office in municipal court. So when somebody, gets a parking ticket and they need to come and pay it,
Right.
they'll come up to the window, and basically they're yelling in between the window because the intercom system is not working appropriately. So this investment will reinvest that intercom system.
All right. Is there a third part?
So that's the first part. The second part is recognizing insurance proceeds that we have received for certain accidents that have happened around town. One of the major ones really being at fire station number 1. I don't know if you remember when a car ran into fire station number 1, and then we had to do some repairs on the building. That's an example of what we're doing here. So we are recognizing the insurance proceeds and then also recognizing the expenses for those repairs that need to be done based off of the accidents. Those will be both within CFG and then also in TDOT.
So we got 75 in insurance proceeds, and we had costs of 61 and 14.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The third item here is going to be, if you will recall what Mr. Green briefed you on in projects committee with the gas system, the fueling system. So this is going to be the annual maintenance contract for that gas void system. We're then putting the maintenance contracts from Mr. Green's operations into IT's maintenance contract.
The
budget.
maintenance is 17 grand, the annual maintenance
Yes, sir, annual.
on a $42,000 system?
Yes, sir.
That's high. Could you?
Where are the people do I understand it right?
No, yes, sir, you understand that correct. That is the correct amount for an annual
You could buy
licensing
a
amount.
new one every 3 years.
Any questions or comments?
So we're
According to what he said, this is the system we need to use. I understand, but maintenance, Good.
you,
Do you know
so
why
you,
it's that expensive? I mean, other than it is what it is.
as the council reviewed the maintenance contract budget for IT this morning, you've seen the totality of all of the maintenance
There's a lot
contracts
of
for
money in
software. There are a number of software systems that have very little upfront investment, but they will have high annual licensing requirements. And this just happens to be one of them.
Okay, I would hope our financial folks are constantly assessing. There's obviously some benefit we get from knowing down to a gnat's
Yes, sir.
to fine detail.
I can tell you that, so Mr. Moore and I actually did a decent review during our last budget cycle about some of the software packages that we have, and then the costing of those, and some of them actually got removed by Mr. Moore's deep dive review on them.
Okay.
But yes, we're constantly going through all of the software packages we have, how they're being used, if there's duplication of services, and Mr. Foster does an excellent job of keeping us involved in that as well.
All right, so then we should expect that if we're paying 42 for the software and 17 for the annual maintenance, somewhere in there we've calculated that we're benefiting more than 60,000 from the use of the system.
Or that the use of this system gives more value than possibly the use of another system at a cheaper price. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think between the three of us, between my office, Mr. Moore's office, and then Mr. Foster's office, I think there's a good synergy with review of software. And also during the last budget cycle, we really kind of hammered home that this is going to be a focus because maintenance contract amounts are so exorbitant and do nothing but grow exponentially every year.
Off the top of my head, we cut 200,000 plus.
About 200.
Maybe a little bit more out of this year, and I expect more to come during this fiscal year. Some things rotate out that don't need to be renewed, and then frankly, if our staff members aren't going to be using it, we're just going to cut it.
Okay. Good, glad to hear it. Gentlemen, any other questions or comments?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, that item is approved. Item number 3, General Fund Reserve for Future Improvements, Budget Revision number 12, Ms. Standridge.
Yes, sir. There are two parts to this one. The first one is the for the Afflink storm drainage item that.
So now I get answered the question. I'll let Mr. Gardner get by.
Yes. So yeah, Mr. Gardner, he briefed you on the actual contract in projects committee. This is the financial piece of it. We are closing out the ESD parking lot project that had a savings of about $110,000, and then we're using contingency for that as well.
Okay, and what does that take our contingency down to?
It's about 30 grand.
30.
I don't like it either.
You can make a budget revision with the revenue numbers that are,
Well, this is in the RFFI, so this isn't in the general fund. This would be the contingency in the.
contingencies in the RFFI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We should be good.
Okay, so 110 out of the parking lot left over, 102 out of contingency.
Mhm.
That comes up with the 200 they need to keep filling up the sinkhole.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, any other questions or comments?
So. Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, item is approved. What are we on, number
So
4?
I'm sorry, I had another item.
Filling in that
There was a
second-
Oh, yeah,
secondary-
I'm sorry.
No, that was my
I'm-
fault. I did not
I'm sorry.
continue. The second item on this, or the B item on this, is really just cleanup of the neighborhood drainage conglomeration of projects. They're basically just closing out the Academy Drive Stone River item that had $188,000 of savings. And then they're putting it back, and the Woodridge Road one, and they're just putting it back into the neighborhood storm drainage and CMP lining appropriation set-asides. They'll create new projects off of that within neighborhood drainage and new storm drainage projects with those.
Ooh, pick me.
Mr.
All right,
Gurney
so-
will be coming to you in the near future with some recommendations.
So we had a 188 left over out of Academy Drive,
Yes, sir.
22 out of Woodridge,
Yes, sir.
and then the CMP lining project
We're just putting that,
extra money.
we're putting
That
the
needs to be done in all the
closeout amounts back into the CMP lining kind of
Over that hole
savings
over there.
bucket.
Okay, and what's the 1,700?
Keep another sinkhole from happening.
So just the breakdown between the two projects, had one piece that was
Okay,
neighborhood
I
storm
got
drainage and one piece that was CMP lining, and so we're breaking them out proportionally.
All right, is there a motion
Yes,
to now
motion to
approve and
approve.
include that with the first part? All in favor say aye. Okay, thank you. Clerk, we appreciate your tolerance and patience on that one.
Sorry about that.
Item number 4, water and sewer reserve for future improvements, budget revision number 6.
Yes, sir, this is the item for the SRF administration contract with TTL that is going to be paid out of the 10-year plan save up, and then creation of the SRF administration line for TTL. That's $60,000 for that contract.
The creation of that line, we did not have that line
I'm
existing.
sorry, it's adding into you. We
Okay.
did. We had 173,000 already in that one, so we're adding 60,000 to it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Gentlemen,
Motion to
questions?
approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item is approved. Item number 5, 2018 drinking water SRF budget revision number 8.
Yes, sir, this is just closeout of the water tank improvements at the VA project. There was 143,000 left in that project that was unspent after completion of that project. And then we're putting the rest of that into the only other ADEM approved project under the 2018 SRF, which is the Ed Love Raw Water Upgrade Phase 1. So closeout of the VA tank, increase of the project for Ed Love.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, you're on a roll, Ms. Standridge. Item number 6. Resolution authorizing application for the FY 23 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant.
You guys don't want to talk, but I talked a lot this morning. I feel like I'm talking a lot this afternoon too. Yes, sir, we apply for this JAG grant annually, and so this is just application for the 2023 year. We are basically quote unquote entitled to a certain amount that we put towards one patrol vehicle, and then we also do application for the county's portion as well. We are the responsible individual for it, but we do allow for the entitlement of the county to flow through us. So the amount that we have for the city of Tuscaloosa is $45,644. Like I mentioned, that will go towards a patrol vehicle, and then the Tuscaloosa County Commission share is $18,563. That will go towards MDUs.
Okay. Is this going towards one of our new Dodge Charger patrol vehicles?
This will be a
Or is
completely
this
new
paying
vehicle.
off something we've already got?
No, it will be a new vehicle within the
No.
fleet.
We've always got, we've never been denied that, have we?
No, sir, we're basically entitled to it. We just have to apply for it.
All right, gentlemen, any questions?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Item is approved. Is there any more business to be brought before Finance Committee? Not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.